Hello, everyone. I'm Dave, the prayer guy. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video, this vlog. I greatly appreciate it. My vision is to fuel God's mission with prayer, and the ministry that God has given me is to teach and to encourage Christians to pray missionally, to do missional prayer. And that's really using God's mission as a lens, as a focus for your prayers. And there's so many different things we could be praying for, but ultimately, we want to see God's kingdom advance and we want to see disciples grow because that is God's mission. That is what He's involved in, and that is what He is calling us into doing. All Christians are called into that. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video about I had a day in Augusta, Maine, the state capital, and how I kind of used that time to pray for not only the city of Augusta, but also the the Maine state government, the legislative, the governor, and it was a great time. And I mentioned how I ran into three Mormon missionaries while I was in Augusta. And I believe so much that that was a divine appointment. And to kind of give you a little bit of a story, a background story, one, this is not the first time I've talked to Mormon missionaries. I can remember the very first time I talked to them. I mean, I got a little mad. I don't remember showing them I was mad, but I remember I was mad because they were so close. They say the right words and they sound like Christians, but man, their doctrines are just enough off that they don't quite get the gospel, but they use the right word to show, kind of make it sound like they're getting the gospel, but they really don't quite have it. And I so wanted to show them the error of their ways, but I didn't know how. And so then I went ahead and I looked up stuff and kind of confirmed what I've always heard. And I looked at and I went straight to their source too, so it wasn't just looking up Christian sources, Baptist sources per se, to kind of get their perspective. I went right to their website as well to get their perspective. And so it took me a little while to gain up the courage to kind of talk to them, because it was like, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to get mad, but I do want to talk to them. I do want to have the presence of the Holy Spirit. So after spending some time in prayer, sitting on a park bench, I was in one of the parks in Augusta. I saw them get up, and I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity. And we talked for 15 minutes, maybe 20. And it was really a time of listening and then me sharing the scriptures and me sharing who I was. And then right away, after we were done, I prayed for them again, and I prayed for the Holy Spirit to come upon their lives. And I shared this because, it is part of God's mission to even save the people that are spiritually lost in a different way. Now the non-Christian, the atheists, they're definitely spiritually lost, but they're spiritually lost in a different way. They don't acknowledge the spiritual presence in life. But Mormons do. Mormons do acknowledge there is spiritual warfare. They acknowledge that God exists and that there's angels and there is the Holy Spirit. They just they just they just disagree just enough. They don't really grasp truly what the gospel is and what the Trinity is. And so that's what we need to pray for. We need to pray that the Holy Spirit would engage in them fully, that the whole triune God will engage in them fully. Because remember, they are on a spiritual journey. And so, really, again, I'm bringing up the Holy Spirit. Our prayers need to focus on the Holy Spirit speaking to them. And I hope and pray that what I said to them was from the Holy Spirit. And that in my next engagement with Mormon missionaries, and this also reigns true for Jehovah's Witnesses as well, that again, I will pray that the Holy Spirit will speak through me and that the Holy Spirit will continue to speak through me. And so don't ever be afraid to talk to them. Don't ever be afraid just to listen and to have a dialogue, because it's not our job to save them. It is the job of Jesus. It is the job of the Holy Spirit. and of the Father, all the whole entire Trinity working together for the advancement of God's kingdom. So listen, share your heart. And the other thing we need to pray for, as I'm reading over my notes for this, is that their willingness to read literature that we might have to share with them. Because I have found they're more than willing to give out their literature. And it's perfectly okay to take it. It's perfectly okay to read it and to pray through it and to discern and use it as a guide to pray for them. That's perfectly okay. But they are hesitant to take anything that we might have for them to read. And so that would be something to pray for, that maybe they'll be open. Maybe they will be open to share it. And you might not see the answer to your prayers. It might take years, and they might be long gone by the time they're ready to fully accept God and fully accept what the truth is. And that's okay. That is totally okay. And don't worry about that if that happens. All right, so this is a little bit longer video than usual. Considering my last one was about 4 minutes, I'm over the 6-minute mark now, so I will close it out. Thank you for watching. And keep on praying. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, may the Lord be with you.